Hello again, guys. Hope y'all doing well. Welcome to another Wired for Crappie Live. Hope everybody's staying warm out there in frozen land. I think the better part of the country is seeing some kind of snow right now, cold temperatures, that is. It is freezing here in East Tennessee, and we're going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to talk about crappie biting in the snow, crappie biting in this extremely cold weather, kind of what that does to them, how they react, and whether you can catch fish or not. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And then we're also going to talk about a couple big things that we have coming up here shortly down the pipe that are going to be a lot of fun and that you guys are going to get to participate in. So there's a couple big events coming up that you guys can participate in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see a lot of people there. Hope to see a lot of you guys at both events. And hopefully you guys will come up and say hello and chat with me while we're there. So got several things, like I said, we're going to talk about tonight. But we're going to let everybody get on, give everybody a chance to log in and say their hellos and let me say hello back. So don't forget, when you get on, guys, drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. Always like to see where we're reaching out to, as always. And smash that like button, okay? Please smash that like button. Let your friends know about Wired for Crappie. Tell them to subscribe to the channel, please. It helps out. And, I just appreciate you guys for doing everything that y'all do. So if you would, if this is your first time on the live, please smash that thumbs up if you like it. And before you leave, and hit that subscribe button for the rest of our content, right? So let's see who all is on tonight. We got Scott Winkler, what's going on, from Westchester, Ohio. Johnny Coots, hello. Joseph Thaxton, hello. Tom A., welcome to my winters. Yeah, there you go, from Pennsylvania. Welcome to my winters. That's right. We got it right now, buddy. I'm telling you. Kenny Hendricks, hello, Maryville, Tennessee. What's going on, Kenny? Which side of Maryville are you on, Kenny? Are you on the a little bit of snow side of Maryville, or are you on the deep snow side of Maryville? Because there is a difference. There is a line. This is no joke, Kenny. There is a line right through downtown Maryville. If you're on the Montville Road side of Maryville from downtown, you didn't get the snow. If you're on the Broadway side of Maryville, out towards 321, I'll say, the 321 side of Maryville, you got all kinds of snow because there's this line right there. It's pretty funny. So which side are you on, the no snow or the bunch of snow? Let's see. Rex Williams, hello from Arkansas. Donathan Brown, what's going on from Lenoir City? Hey, I was in Lenoir City today, Donathan. You guys got hammered. You guys got all kinds of snow down there. And, when I say hammered, I'm talking Tennessee hammered. I ain't talking about, northeast Michigan on the lake. I'm talking about Tennessee hammered. This is like 8-10 inches. And it ain't that big a deal. But you got a lot of snow down there. So I was down there looking at a job today, and it's a little slick down there. It's a little slippery. So the roads are still white. They didn't treat crap down there, did they? They ain't a road treated down there except for the main road. Outside of the main road, that's it. I mean, even the secondary roads ain't treated down there. They're getting it down there for sure. Hello from Oconee, South Carolina. Come fishing here. We've got lakes Jocassee, Hartwell, and Kiowee in the county. Been on Hartwell. Love Hartwell. Hartwell is a great lake. Ton of fish in Hartwell. And it's a big fish in Hartwell if you know where to catch them. But love that area. Have not been on Oconee. Excuse me. Have not been on Oconee, but would love to go. For sure. So hopefully I'll get down that way before it's all said and done. Blair Hurd, hello, Jack. What's going on? Eric Anderson, hey, from icy Coreyton. Yeah, it is icy out there. Jackie Jordan, what's up? What's up, Jackie? Let's see. Sunday was brutal on the water. Constant ice and islets here in Nashville. Still snowed in here. Want to get out there. Priest is freezing up. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, do crappie bite in the snow? Yeah, I'm sure they do. But I couldn't tell you if they do because I don't fish in the snow. I'm telling you right now, I don't do it. I don't go out in the snow. I ain't going out in the snow. I'm not taking my boat out in the snow. Everybody says, well, you pansy. I'm fine. Listen, I got clothes. I got heaters. I got hand warmers. I am a through and through outdoorsman. I'll go out there in 2 degrees and sit. It don't bother me. The cold is not, that doesn't bother me. But first of all, I'm not going to go out there and risk my life because I have 3 kids and a wife. And I'm not going to go out there and get my boat covered in salt. That's what really bothers me. I don't want to get my boat covered in salt. And there's salt all over these roads right now. And I'm sorry, but I love my little girlfriend right here. She's my baby. Okay, this is Margie. If you guys don't know, Margie's a redhead. Okay, she's got a red top. I'm not taking Margie out in this. She ain't gonna do it. All right. She'll go back out there, get on the lake when the salt's gone, give it about a rain or two, and we'll get her back out there because I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna put her through that. I don't want a bunch of salt in my units. I don't want a bunch of salt on my motor. I don't want a bunch of salt on my trolling motor, in my carpet. It's just nasty. That salt is gross, and I don't want it in my boat. So, or on the outside of my boat, or on my trailer, because I want my boat to stay nice as long as I can. So I'm a boat snob, okay? Don't have nothing to do with me being a man. I'm a man. I'll go out there and sit in it. I'm going to get on my soapbox. I ain't scared, okay? Don't tell me I'm scared of the weather. I ain't. Yes, crappie will bite in the snow. Yes, you can catch a bunch of fish when it snows. Yes, you can catch a ton of fish in cold weather. Why? Because those fish group up. When it gets really, 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 really cold like this, guys, those fish really tighten up. I mean, I'm telling you, they absolutely get schooled up in huge schools. You can find them out in open water, bluff walls. You can find them anything that's reflective or anything that's going to, 1, reflect light into the water, 2, absorb heat from the sunlight. You can find them stacked, guys. Bluff walls where they can get right up against the bluff wall and warm up a little bit. Anything that's going to, that little bit of temperature change is going to hold those fish, and they are going to group up to try to conserve their energy and their heat, their body heat. So, yes, you can catch an absolute buttload of fish, but no, I'm not taking my boat out there to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I catch a boatload of fish any other time. I'm not advocating that you guys go try to catch a million fish in the snow. Listen, I'm telling you, there is no worse feeling than backing a boat down a boat ramp and your truck sliding down with it. Okay? Yes, everybody says, well, your truck will stop when it hits the lake. Yeah, it will. But if it hits the lake at Mach 4, it's not going to stop in enough time for you to get it out. It's going to sink. You're going to sink it, and you're going to be in trouble. And if you're Joel Nash on here, I'm telling you right now, you better not let Ray back the boat down tomorrow, because I'm telling you right now, that man will have the boat or the truck in the lake. All right. So you better back it down for him, because I'm telling you, you got to be careful, guys. Look, there ain't no crappie out there worth risking your life. There ain't no crappie out there worth risking your boat, your truck, your this, your that. Of course, your boat would probably float, right? But be smart. If it's 4 degrees outside, you can go fishing if you want to, but please be careful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you fall in the lake. So obviously, you guys know me, President of East Tennessee Crappie Club, and I looked back one time at what happens at different temperatures if you fall in the lake. How long do you have? If you fall in the lake at 40-degree temperatures, water temps, and it's freezing, let's say it's 32 degrees outside, 40, anywhere between 40 and 45 degrees in the water. They say from the time you hit the water to the time you need to be warming yourself up, I think it was something crazy like 2 minutes or 4 minutes or something like that before you start losing functions. Okay. Your finger functions go first, just like when you guys get real cold, you're just like, my hands won't work. You start losing that finger function. Then you start losing, arms, legs. Then you start losing your mind. I'm already there. I've already lost mine a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. It's not worth it. It's not. I mean, you got to be safe out there on the water in temperatures like this, and you guys can Google all that. Don't take my word for it. Google, freezing temperatures, falling in the water. I don't remember exactly what I Googled back then when I looked it up, but it was some crazy numbers that when I found them and started looking and started getting a little bit of knowledge on it, I'm like, good Lord, if you were to fall in, you don't have enough time. And then you got like 6 pounds of clothes on, which turn into 65 pounds of clothes when they're wet. Just be safe out there. Use your head. Be smart. Yeah, it's cool to go out in the snow and catch fish. It's fun to go out there and take pictures with them, and snowbanks behind you and trees full of snow and everything else. But please be safe. Please do it responsibly and think about it before you do it. That's all I'm asking. And you will not catch me on a lake in it. Okay, you just won't. Too much to live for at this point. You know what I mean? So, but yes, you can catch a lot of fish. Again, look for them in areas, and they're going to try to warm up. They're cold too. You know what I'm saying? So, bright sunny day like we had today. We had a really bright sunny day today. They're going to shallow up in sun in that kind of shallower water. Now, shallow water. When I say shallow up, let me be clear about this. Okay, they may be sitting out there in 40 or 60 feet of water. They may be sitting 25 feet down. And when I say they're going to shallow up, it may just be, they're sitting here at 25 feet or whatnot. Shallowing up may just mean they're going to move up in the water column. All right. And when they move up in the water column, they're going to be shallower and easier to catch. Right. But doesn't necessarily mean they're going to move to the bank shallow. Just means they're going to shallow up and they're going to sun in that, whatever that light penetration is. A big bluebird day like we had today, not a cloud in the sky, especially some of these lakes around here that are clear. That may be 12 feet. That may be 10 feet, maybe 4 feet. It just depends. But they're going to move up in that water column to soak up some of that sun, that warmer water. They're looking for that little bit of warmth in systems like this when it really drops off. So you can catch a lot of fish like that, okay? You can catch a lot of fish that way, following that warmth and following that sunlight and just kind of playing off of your conditions that you're dealt, right? All right, let's see here. Max, hello. Joel Nash, hello, Matt, and everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Had 8 inches in Nashville. How's it going, Matt? Gunnersville, Alabama. Did you guys get snow down there, Scott? Kenny Hendricks, no snow, side 6 mile area, just down the road from ACC Crappie Sticks. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of snow on that side of the world. You know what I'm saying? 8.5 inches northeast White County, around my deer property. Yep. North Mississippi checking in. What's up, David? Paul, good evening from Chattanooga. What's going on? Rodman Fishing, hello from Dayton on Chickamauga Lake. 8 inches here. Yes, sir. Not a lot of people fishing Chickamauga right now, is your buddy? Hello, Matt. Good pastime for fighting COVID. Oh, no. Virgil, I hate to hear that, buddy. Hey, hope you get feeling well soon. Hopefully all goes well. No complications with that. I hope you get back out there soon, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Jeff, hello, Matt from Frozen, West Virginia. We still caught them. Was just cold. Yeah, it is cold. There's no doubt. Just be safe out there, okay? Hope to see you at the Expo, Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Still something. Jason, thank you, buddy. Listen, that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. The East Tennessee Fishing Show, the Expo, is happening at the Expo Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. Bonehead Tackle will be there. You guys know my love for Bonehead Tackle. I will be in the Bonehead Tackle booth, okay? I will be there Saturday morning and probably Sunday morning. I will probably have to leave rather Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. I'll have to head out for a little bit because I have a guide trip, I believe. But I will be there Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So you guys stop by the booth, and I may be there Saturday afternoon. I'm just not sure yet. But Saturday morning and Sunday morning, I will definitely be there. So come by the Bonehead Tackle booth. Come see me. Come see Jensen and Tommy with Bonehead Tackle. They'll be there. We'll be selling some cool stuff. We'll be giving away a guide trip with me. So if you buy something at the Expo, okay, if you buy something at the Bonehead Tackle booth, make sure, even if I'm not there, make sure you ask them for the ticket to get into the drawing for the guide trip. They will have tickets there. You put your name on a ticket with your phone number, and you drop it in their box. And then we will draw probably Sunday before I leave Sunday. We'll draw a name out of that box for a winner. The guide trip with me on the house. All right. So if you buy something from Bonehead Tackle at the show, you will get entered into or be eligible to get entered into that drawing for the guide trip. So make sure you stop by, say hello, check out some of the new colors. They got new colors. They got new baits. They got new profiles. Make sure you come check them out. Get yourself some merch. They got hats, shirts, hoodies. They'll have everything there, all the bait profiles and colors. So make sure you guys stop by the Bonehead Tackle booth at the Expo, okay? The Expo is, I guess I should tell you when it is. It's the last weekend of January. It will actually be, let's see here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. It's the last weekend of this month, whatever those dates are. I don't have it in front of me. But last weekend of January, Thursday through Sunday, okay? And I don't have a calendar in here. I don't want to back out of my phone to look at my date because if I do, I might lose you guys. So I don't want to do that. But it's the last weekend of this month. You can look it up on Facebook, East Tennessee Fishing Show or East TN Fishing Show. And then I think Bonehead Tackle has put some stuff out about it as well. You can look at their page. And I'll post something on my page as well on Facebook, letting everybody know that I'll be there Saturday and Sunday at the Bonehead booth again to come check it out. Okay. Zach said, I don't even want that crap on my truck. Yeah, I know. It's inevitable. It's going to get on my truck. I love my beautiful wife more than anything in the world, but I'm telling you, she will not drive in the snow. If there is snow on the ground, if it is falling out of the sky, she's grounded. She ain't getting out. She's like, I'm done. Nope, I'm not driving in it. She's not comfortable in it. She's not getting in it. She doesn't want anything to do with it. And that's fine. So I do all the traveling and all the driving and all the everything during snow times because she ain't getting out. I can tell you that right now. It's not happening. Don't ask. It ain't going to happen. She did try. She did try today. And she drove about a mile down the road, turned around and came back. She's like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not comfortable. I don't feel right in it. I'm not doing it. So, hey, to each their own, right? If she doesn't feel comfortable, I don't want her out there in it anyway. Because if she don't feel comfortable, she's not going to be comfortable. And I don't want her out there on the roads around you guys. So you know what I'm saying? All right. So I hate getting it on my truck too. Matt, cold, lots of laughs. It was -10 here in Griffin, Indiana yesterday. Well, it wasn't far from that this morning here. I think it was like 6 here this morning. And it felt like, I think they said -18 or something like that. It's something ridiculous. It was absolutely cold here as well. So, thank the Lord. We've still got power. We've still got heat. We've still got all that good stuff. Thank the Lord. So, hopefully we'll keep that. I mean, tomorrow's supposed to be 40 for a high. So it is supposed to get up a little warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to have some good sunlight. I think some of that snow will melt off. Definitely everything that we have here at the house will probably melt off tomorrow. But, we'll see. They're calling for more snow Friday. So, who knows what's going to happen with that. But I'm a little grounded myself because, like my wife, I'm not taking my boat out in it. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't going to do it. I ain't getting that stuff all over my boat. All right. Ty, what's going on from Georgia? Jimmy Pratt. Hello. Now, let me tell you guys a little story about Jimmy Pratt. Jimmy Pratt will fish in a monsoon, in a tornado, in a tidal wave. He'll fish in a heat wave. He'll fish in a windstorm. And he'll pretty much fish any other time that, he wants to go fishing. So that's kind of what he does. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he'll fish in anything. He don't care. But let me tell you something. He ain't going fishing in this crap. I'll tell you that right now. He ain't going to do it. Now, he may go tomorrow because it's going to be 40 degrees. But when it's 13 outside, he ain't going. I know him. He ain't going. He ain't going to go neither. He don't want it all over his boat neither. I know Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy don't want that salt all over his boat because he shines his boat every time he comes out of the lake. That ain't going to happen. I'm telling you right now. He ain't going neither. And when Mr. Jimmy don't go to the lake, everybody knows it's time to stay at home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, Mr. Jimmy? Mr. Jimmy says, if I ain't going to the lake, ain't nobody going to the lake. Because I'm telling you right now, that man's been on the lake when other people was like, yeah, right. He been there. So I'm telling you, he's trying to catch up. He's playing catch up. He's going to catch me one day. It wasn't this last tournament. He thought he had me, but it wasn't. We beat him by a couple hundredths of a pound. He didn't have me this last tournament. He playing catch up. He's going to get there. I promise you, he's going to get there. But it wasn't this last tournament. Right, Mr. Jim? That's all I got to say about that. Hey, if you can't poke at your friends, what can you do? Jason, hello from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Hope to see you at the Expo in Knoxville. Yes, sir. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. 3.35 pound crappie weighed in this past Sunday off Chickamauga Lake by Connor Playos, whatever that is. However you pronounce that. All right, congratulations to Connor. I saw that fish, beautiful fish. Hopefully he put it back in the lake. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but hopefully he did. Those don't come around too often. Well, I take that back. Hopefully he rather mounted it or put it in the lake. Hopefully he didn't eat it. Hopefully he put it back in the lake or mounted it. See, I would mount that fish. That fish would be back here on the wall. Well, no, it wouldn't. It'd be over here with my deer is where it would be. But no, that fish would be on my wall. I am not putting a fish on my wall until it's over 3 pounds. I personally have not got a 3 pound fish, but I'm going to. I'm going to catch. Maybe we'll do the search of the 3 pound wall hanger, and we'll just do for like the next 5 years. Or maybe I'll just name my channel 3 pound crappie and never catch one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how we do things around YouTube. You know, we just name it 3 pound crappie, and then we don't ever catch a 3 pound crappie. So yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not. All right, off my soapbox with that. Dunk. Yeah. So, some of you guys will get that, some of you won't, but that's okay. No worries. All right, where are we at? I'm gonna shut up now. I'm putting my foot in my mouth. Let's see. Where'd everybody go? I lost my spot. Yeah, 3.35 pound. You know, that fish probably, if it would have been spawned, that fish probably would have been closer to 4. That's a big crappie. That's a good one right there. There ain't no doubt about it. That's a good crappie. All right, me and Ray Pratt going to wear them out tomorrow if we can get in the water. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, Joel. I mean, you better not let Ray back down the ramp, buddy. You better back down the ramp because and you better find a short ramp, one that doesn't have a whole lot of lead time. Because if you have one with a lot of lead time, you start sliding, you're going to hit the lake about Mach 4, and then you're going to be calling me to bring the dually down there to pull you out. So, just please be careful. Please. You guys are nuts. All right. Stone Cold, what's going on? Hey, Matt from Rock Spring, Georgia. Burr. Yes, sir, it is. 7 inches here in Marshall County. Was negative 13 this morning. Burr. Absolutely. Heath McDaniel, probably see you there Saturday morning then. All righty. Sounds good. Good evening, Matt. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Joining you a little late tonight. I just got home from church. Well, welcome home. Hope you had a good service. I hope the Lord showed up and everybody had a good time. And welcome to the live. I appreciate you for joining us, even though it's late. Hey, better late than never, my friend. Ed Cook, Liv Scope transducer on pole or trolling motor or both. Depending on how I am fishing, I like both. Thoughts? Very good question, and thank you for the question. So this is the thing that I go back and forth with a lot with customers as they come in for installs. Okay, they always ask me, what should I do? Should I put it on a pole? Should I put it on a trolling motor? Couple things. If you're on the fence about it, let me tell you kind of how I advise my customers. Okay, if you're on the fence about it and you don't know which one you want to do, there's no additional cost to put it on the trolling motor. To put it on the trolling motor, the bracket comes with the Liv Scope, right? So it comes in the box. It's just installing it. That's it. Well, we're going to install it either way. As an installer, we're going to install it either way. It doesn't change the price if we put it on the trolling motor. It doesn't change my price if I put it on a pole. I'm still charging you the same thing to install it because it's going to take me the same amount of time, basically. I mean, a pole might take a little longer because I got to mount the pole, but I don't charge extra for that. That's part of my install cost. I quote my installs. I don't work hourly. I give you a number. If it's $400, it's $400. If I tell you $800, it's $800. I don't bill by the hour. I bill by the job. I quote my jobs. I tell you how much it's going to cost before you come, and it's that much when you pick it up, unless I run into an issue that I did not foresee. Let's say you're wiring in your boat shot, you need new wiring. And I'll tell you that. Say, hey, you need new wiring. It's going to cost X, Y, Z. Tell me to fix it or not. I don't care. But if I run into something that's extra, then I call and I tell you about that. But I quote the job and I tell you how much it's going to cost. One thing I always hated was taking my boat somewhere, them tell me I have to drop it off first of all, and it'll sit outside until they're ready for it. That was my first pet peeve. I hate that. I don't do that. I tell you when to bring the boat. I back it in our shop, pull it out of my shop when it's done, and you pick it up. That's it. It stays in my shop, just like the boat I have sitting right here in front of me. It stays in my shop until you pick it up. This one's been here a week because it snowed, but that's fine. I don't mind because the one that was coming in behind this one, he ain't brought it yet because it snowed. So it's good. It can sit here as long as it wants. I don't care. But it doesn't cost anything to put it on the trolling motor. That's already in the box. So if you're on the fence about it, put it on your trolling motor. Try it for a week or two, or a fishing trip, or 3 or 4. And if you like it, leave it. If you don't, buy a pole. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to make the change. Okay. Me personally, I prefer the pole. I don't run it on the trolling motor. Why? Well, and then I always ask that question. The next question I ask is, do you use spot lock? Do you have spot lock on your trolling motor? Yes, I do. Do you use it? I have to use it. I use it all the time. That's all I do. I pull up to a brush pile, I hit spot lock, and I fish. I go to the next brush pile, pull up, spot lock, and I fish. Then you're not going to want it on your trolling motor. If that's the only way you fish, you don't want it on your trolling motor. No, sir. No way. No how. Absolutely not. You won't enjoy it. You won't like it. It will not make you happy. It will make you frustrated. You need a pole. If that's what they tell me, or I shoot docks, that's all I do, shoot docks. Or all I do is fish standing timber. No. Nope. If you have spot lock on your trolling motor and you use it, you better not. You better not put it on a trolling motor. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to hate life, and you're going to be frustrated. So buy you a pole. So it's a conversation that I have with my customers where I say, how do you fish? What do you like? What do you not like? It's kind of this back and forth we play, right? And then if it's a pole, what pole, right? So a lot of good poles out there. And I was just talking to somebody earlier about this. I'm not going to go into great detail on what pole. I prefer Fishing Specialties pole. That's because it's simplistic. It stows into place that fast. It's lightweight. Doesn't weigh a bunch. I can pick it up, put it down all day. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't. It's relatively inexpensive. It's simplistic, and sometimes it's nice to be simple. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the simple things in life are the best things in life. So that's me again. Not because they offer you guys a discount code, which is down below, by the way. All the discount codes for you guys to save money are down here in the bottom, scrolling across the screen. So use those, save yourself some money. Crappie 2024 needs to be changed, by the way, because it's 2024 now on the Bonehead tackle. But use those discount codes, save yourself some money. And again, Fishing Specialties is probably, if it's not the cheapest, it's very close to one of the cheapest poles out there, other than those homemade ones. So, great product. I've had one pole of mine for 3 years, going on 4. And the other pole of mine, I've probably had a year and a half, 2 years now. And they just keep on clicking. Sometimes you'll get, like the handle may get wore out, or the cone may get wore out. I think I replaced the cone on one of mine. I think it was replaced last year, maybe. But anyway, I don't exactly remember. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty simplistic, pretty easy. That's what I prefer. But I can see those that want it on the pole or want it on the trolling motor as well, for the purpose of open water fish. I do think it's a little easier probably to open water fish with it on your trolling motor. I can see where it's beneficial in that regard. But for any other type of fishing, pole is probably where it's at. I hope that answers your question. If I missed anything, let me know. My home lake is up 13 feet from last week's rain. Would fish be in the same area before the lake raised? No, they will not. Typically, if the water raises, the fish move up. If the water falls, the fish move out. So let me say this. Will they still be in the same place? No, because it came up 13 feet. Let's say those fish were sitting at 13 and it's 13 foot deep, and it went up, the lake went up 13. Those fish would be at 26 feet, right? They're not going to stay there. They're going to move up. If 13 feet is where they want to be, they're going to move up to 13 feet, wherever that new 13 feet is. If they want to be 20 foot deep, lake came up 13, they're going to move up 13 feet back to 20. Does that make sense? So if the lake comes up, the fish generally go up. If the lake goes down, the fish generally go out. Okay? Up is in, down is out. That's pretty simple to remember. What's up, Steve in Maryland? I hope you're doing well. Nathan Wood, what's going on from Wabash, Indiana? Hello, hello. That Jimmy guy is cray-cray. Don't fish the boat docks. They may fall down on you. Yes, yes. So thank you. We actually had several marinas here in East Tennessee that the roofs collapsed on. They got snow on them and too much weight, and the roofs actually collapsed on the dock. So it's pretty bad, actually. I think a couple of them were very high-end docks with very high-end boats. I'm talking yacht-type boats. I'm talking the boats that the really, really, really pretty girls get on for free. those are the type of boats that I'm so sorry. Somebody needs to come stop me. Somebody come over here to the house and stop me, okay? Because I'm on a roll tonight. So, yeah, we had some very, very, very nice marinas that collapsed on some very, very nice boats. And I would hate to be that insurance adjuster that has to handle that. And I would hate to be the people that have to deal with the insurance adjusters from that. And from what I understand, so when the roof fell, a lot of the boats that it fell on are actually now sunk. So it fell on them with so much weight that it pushed them underneath the lake and they filled up with water and just sunk. So I'm so sorry to those people that happened to. That's horrible. Whether it be your yacht or your bass boat or, your bass tracker or your dinghy for that matter. I mean, I hate it for those people. You never like losing anything. I know I work hard for everything that I've had, and I'm blessed that God has given me everything that I have. But yeah, I would hate to know that it was just gone like that from a snowstorm. So, heart goes out to those that lost boats in that, and the marina owners that have to now deal with, trying to get their marina fixed. So, prayers go out to you guys, and hope all is well. Hope everything goes well. And really, I hope nobody was on any of them boats when it happened. That would be even worse. That'd be scary. That'd be freaky, wouldn't it? Be pinned underneath a metal roof with a bunch of snow on it. Yeah, that would suck. So, hopefully that didn't happen. Here's Jimmy's Morse code. Dad, I blame it. No, I have to go tomorrow. You done got me fired up. Yeah. Jimmy, talk to text is horrible. That's Jimmy's Morse code. I think he uses talk to text. I swear to God, I do. Dad, I blame it. No, I have to. Dad, blame it. Now I have to go tomorrow. You done got me fired up. Yes! Yes! I got it. I got it. I got it. See, you got to read everything in code. It's Jimmy code. You'll get it. I mean, the more you talk to Jimmy and text Jimmy and then get on Facebook with Jimmy, you just get to know Mr. Jimmy. And I'm telling you, you got to read everything in code. Dad, blame it. Now I have to go tomorrow. You done got me fired up. Yes. Hey, I'm happy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I am on a roll. All right. Is Mr. Curtis in Georgia? Just wanting to get in touch with him. Yes, Johnny. Mr. Curtis, Mr. Lightwire Hooks right there behind me. Mr. Curtis Hobbs, if you're on here, say hello, please. Mr. Curtis Hobbs, Lightwire Hooks, is in Georgia. And I think he's in Cochran, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. And he is the hook guru. And no, he does not just sell light wires. He sells every kind of hook. It don't matter if it's a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, a number 4, a number 5.5, a number 5 3/4, a number 7/4. He got them all. Man, I'm on a roll tonight. Somebody come get me. He's got them all. Okay, he's got every one of them. He can do red heads, purple heads, pink heads, rainbow heads, orange heads, no heads. He can do it all. I'm telling you, he's got every kind of barb. He's got different kinds of barbs, for gosh sakes. I mean, and I'm not talking about the barb on the hook. I'm talking about the barb on the collar, okay? He's got it all. I mean, he is the man when it comes to hooks. I've been using his hooks way before Wired for Crappie got started. I've been buying hooks from Mr. Curtis for over a decade, and I absolutely love him and his hooks. He is the best that's out there, in my opinion. They just don't come any better. And when you can call somebody and say, hey, I'd like to have some red hooks because I don't have any. I'd like to have some bleeding hooks in a number 4 with, I want 100 of them with a chartreuse head, 100 of them with a white head, 100 of them with a red head, and 100 unpainted. And I'd like a number 4 sickle on those, red one. And he says, got you. Give me a couple days. I'll have them ready. A couple days later, he calls you up. And he says, man, I got them. And not only did I paint them, but I put eyes on them for you because, you know, I think the crappie like eyes, and I'm going to send you some with eyes on them. And I'm like, sweet. And then he sends them to you, and they're perfect, and they just work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I put my hooks to work, and I like them to work. And, you know, now I don't use sickles anymore. I used to, but I just use a standard Eagle Claw round bend, right, Mr. Curtis, if you're on here? I'm an Eagle Claw round bend freak, okay? Eagle Claw round bend in bronze. Mr. Curtis knows me. That's all I want. I want it in a number 2 or number 4, and I want it on a round head or an aspirin head. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? So Mr. Curtis has got my number now. He knows exactly what I want. I think because I ordered about 2,300 hooks from him, 2,400, I think it was, a couple weeks ago or a month ago. And he's got me down to a pit. He's got me down because I called him and I was like, hey, I need 2,400. And he's like, okay, you want them tomorrow or you want them, when do you want them? Tomorrow, Friday? What do you want? And I'm like, that's like a day or two. And he's like, yeah, I got them, man. I was like, he's like, I keep your hooks here. I got them, man. You know, what do you want? And I'm like, okay. So, like I said, Mr. Curtis is great. And if you get in touch with him, you just tell him what you want. He'll get it. Chris, 3-pound crappie. All right. Jimmy Pratt is going tomorrow. Yeah, well, have fun with that. Curtis Hobbs. There he is, Mr. Curtis. What's up, Mr. Curtis? I was talking about you just now. I hope you didn't hear me. I don't want your head getting too big. But I'm telling you, I'm on a roll tonight, Mr. Curtis. I'm like no other. All right. We're having fun here tonight. I am on a roll. Actually, as a matter of fact, I got my coffee going on is what it is. I'm drinking coffee. And you guys don't make fun of me because my coffee's got some light color to it. Because my wife bought some creamer that is caramel macchiato or macchiato or something. And I'm telling you right now, I've been drinking a lot of coffee because, as you can tell, it's good. It's good creamer. You know what I mean? Comes in a little bottle, stays in the refrigerator. It's good stuff. All right. The older you get, the colder you get. Waiting on light variable at 60 degrees. Amen, Mr. Curtis. I'm telling you right now. I would love to have some light variable. I'd take light variable 45 at this point. I mean, I just don't want. So East Tennessee Crappie Club was supposed to have a tournament on Tellico this Saturday. If you're on here and you were planning on fishing that event, please do not show up to that event. It has been rescheduled for February the 10th. Okay. So February the 10th, Saturday, February 10th will be the new Tellico tournament date out of Clear Creek. And the reason we canceled that is because it's supposed to be 5 that morning, or no, they changed it. 8 Saturday morning and a high of 22. All right, like I said, we're not going to get people hurt. We're not in the game to go out there and put anybody in harm's way. That's putting someone in harm's way. If you host a tournament at 8 degrees, you are potentially putting someone, in my opinion, this is all opinion, don't shoot me down when I'm preaching good. You're putting someone in a sketchy situation. You know what I'm saying? You come out of that boat 8 degrees, you better hope you're close to the truck, and you better hope you got remote start. You better hope you got this. I got start on my cell phone. I can start my truck from anywhere in the country, and you better hope you got that too if you come out of that boat at 8 degrees. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? But I am too, Mr. Curtis. I'd take light variable 45. But light variable 60 would be just fine with me, my friend. Just fine. Charlie, a lot to talk about. Lack of crappie on Douglas. Any thoughts? Oh, great question. Great question. So I have heard about this lack of crappie on Douglas. I have been wanting, I'm honest with you, I've been wanting to get up there. I've started hearing about this lack of crappie probably mid-November, I think. Historically, okay, let's talk historics. Historically, Douglas has always been kind of a cold water lake. Most of your anglers that fish Douglas Lake love the wintertime fishing on Douglas Lake, okay? They love to go out there to Nina Creek or to Indian Creek or to Muddy Creek and fish flats and shallow water, float and fly, just chilling out there with your friends and it colder than crap with a big 10-foot rod, throwing a float fly 7 foot deep. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely love it. But it's been slim pickings in Douglas. Okay. And I've been hearing about this lack of fish on Douglas. Well, I'm going to be 100% honest with you here. Okay. I have seen a transition not only on Douglas Lake, but all of our lakes across East Tennessee with shallow water fish. Okay. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly why that is. I have some opinions. I have some thoughts of why this is, but those shallow water fish, I feel like are now moving out deeper. Okay. I feel like the shallow water bite, I used to be able to go, look, I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day on Tellico. I used to be able to go in some of the creeks on Tellico Lake in December and January and longline troll in shallow water. Okay. Shallower water, probably what I would call shallow water, 10 to 15 feet, and used to absolutely be able to wear fish out and good fish. They ain't there anymore. They're just not. They don't get in that. They just do not get in those areas anymore. Why? Pressure, I think, has a lot to do with it. Douglas, I think, is very pressured. A lot of times, more so pressured in the winter than it is any other time of the year. But I keep hearing of the lack of fish, lack of fish, lack of fish. I don't think Douglas has a lack of fish. I think it has a lack of fishermen that really want to explore and fish other patterns, maybe. And I'm not saying, Charlie, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're one of those fishermen. I'm not saying that, but because I've heard about this lack of fish, I'm just talking, okay. But a lot of people don't want to fish that deeper pattern, or maybe don't want to go look in other places. Douglas has a lot of fishermen over the years that I've met personally that, man, we go to Nina Creek, we float and fly, where's the crappie out? Then if they go up there one day and don't catch them, they say, oh, man, we caught them there last year, January 3rd. We went up there, didn't catch a single fish. There ain't no fish in that lake. I think the fish are still there. I think they're just in different areas. I think, each year is different. And I think a lot of it has to do with spawns as well. I think Douglas more so than any other lake is very affected by the water raising and lowering. If we have a very rainy spring, that lake goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And Jesus, those fish don't have time to spawn because it just goes up and down and up and down and up and down. They use Douglas for flood retention. That's just how it is. But, there's cycles as well. Every 3 years, you're going to see a cycle or a swing. Now, some people tell you every 7. You'll see one every 7 and every 3, in my opinion. Every 3 and every 7, you're going to see a cycle. And then you're going to miss spawns, too. I mean, if you have missed spawns in those years, that really affects, crappie to 10 inches on Douglas is anywhere from 2 to 3 years. So, if 3 years ago you had a horrible spawn, you're seeing that this year. You're not seeing as many 10-inch fish. There's still fish in that lake. The fish population is not going to go anywhere out of Douglas Lake, but you will have ebbs and tides and ups and downs and highs and lows and whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to relate it to. But there's still fish in that lake, plenty of them. I promise you that. I need to get up there and fish. I need to get to Douglas and fish it and see exactly what this lack of fish they're talking about is, and just see how many fish we can find. I may do that here in the next week or two and report back on one of the lives, Charlie. Hopefully you'll be on that live, and hopefully we can talk about it a little bit better, a little more. And I'd like to be able to tell people where I found fish at. You know what I mean? So we'll get up there. We'll try it out. And I know a couple people that I know a couple people that guide up there. So I may reach out to them and see what their thoughts are on the lake too. But I've heard a lot about it. But those are my opinions. Those are my thoughts. I wish I had some firsthand experience with it, but I just hadn't been up there lately. Just hadn't had time to get up to that lake. Tournament season being kind of mid-swing. I just hadn't been up there, but we'll get up there. Promise you that. Have you tried Bonehead Tackle's new Platinum braid or plan on using it? Yes, I plan on using it. No, I haven't tried it yet. The B-Power braid right back there is what I always use. That's my go-to. But I have not tried their platinum. I will try their platinum. I'll probably get some from them at the show this next week. But let's see. It's not this week. It's not the next week. It's following, I believe. But yes, to answer your question, I will. Wait, maybe it isn't. Week after next. Yeah, it's week after next. So, yes, I will get some and I will try it out. And I plan on that, but I haven't used any yet. Going to have any wired hats or merch at Expo? Yeah. I can bring some merch for sure. I don't think Bonehead will mind that one bit. I will do my best to have some hats and merch there. Yes, for sure. Fishing Specialties poll works well. I like mine, and thank you for getting me their info. You're very welcome, Max. You're very welcome. Hey, Mac, going to be headed down to Dale Hollow March 23rd with my dad and brother. We are staying at Willow Grove. That's a good area. Got any advice on where to start? Start deep. And deep, I mean like 30 to 40 feet deep. Start deep. Find structure. Not necessarily the biggest structures, but find structure. You'll find fish. Okay. What about a turret with foot switches to change the direction of the transducer? David, there are some electronic foot-driven poles out there, and they work, okay? But with Liv Scope, a lot of times, because that transducer has such a narrow cone, okay, that turret where it might go, you put your foot on it, it might go boom, and you take your foot off and you just bump it, and it goes boom. You bump it again, it boom. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like steps, if you will. Sometimes this step and that step, back to that step and that step, back to that step and that step. You can't get a great picture. And yes, Liv Scope is that touchy a lot of times. If you're looking at a 32nd ounce jig and you don't have it dead center of your cone, you're not going to see it. So a lot of times, you know, for me, I don't like that foot control for that purpose. But that's just me. That's just personal preference at that point. Loudon. Don't have Liv Scope. We do have planer boards. Yes, sir. That's my boy right there. Got the planer boards. Actually, I'm working on some planer boards down here in the shop right now, trying to get some ready for shipping out. So if you guys hadn't seen the Wired for Crappie planer board, then you can check it out, wiredforcrappie.com, under the shop tab. But yeah, the planer boards are a great tool. Planer boards, shallow water, you got to love them. You know what I mean? What color line do you prefer? I prefer high vis, yellow. If I'm fishing with mono, if I'm fishing with braid, I prefer orange. So, and the reason everybody says, well, why orange? Well, because it's different than high vis yellow. And I can look down like I can look down right now at my rods. So if I have all my rods sitting on the floor like this right here, can you tell which ones have the braid on them? Right. So you can look down, it's visual. Orange, and you see some down there with mono. So that's the whole reason that I use orange braid, because I can look down at the floor and tell exactly which ones have braid on them, which ones have mono on them. Yeah, Joel, so you're drinking milk. Drink black coffee and go fishing tomorrow. No. On both fronts. Absolutely not. We're not going to do that, Joel. But thank you. We're going to drink milk. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get on a roll. I'm going to be up till 1. Appreciate y'all making some planer boards. That's good stuff. Look, see, it's not chocolate milk, Joel. It's white milk. Hey, that's good stuff. All right, sorry late. Dale Holla guy here. What's going on, Danny? LaRue, the fish on Douglas have definitely changed patterns, but fishermen won't change patterns. Thank you. Confirmation. Amen. Hallelujah. See, look, you got to change with the fish. I'm telling you. And I've seen it across all East Tennessee lakes. And I had a sneaky suspicion. Thank you, LaRue. I appreciate that comment, buddy. I had a sneaky suspicion that was probably the case on that lake. Fish have changed. You used to be able to go in the winter and catch a buttload of shallow water crappie. You just can't do it anymore. I'd love to be able to go catch shallow water crappie, but I'm telling you, for some reason, guys, it's just changed. It just the crappie fishing world we knew 10 years ago is gone. It's just not there anymore. And I hate it. I hate it because I want to go troll and I want to go catch fish and you can't. It sucks. But, oh well. Thank you, LaRue. Appreciate it. That kind of confirmed my thoughts, but I'm still going to get up there and fish. I want to try to confirm for myself because I always like to obviously I have an opinion, right? I'm a YouTuber. I have opinions, but I always like to back those up with facts, and I always like to know firsthand what I'm talking about. So I'm just not just flapping my gums for no reason with all these opinions that I have absolutely nothing to back up. So I always like to have something to back that up with and be like, hey, I went fishing 2 days ago, and look, here's a boatload of crappie that I caught. So, but yeah, I had that kind of suspicion as far as Douglas Lake is concerned, and I'm sure there's probably, and it's probably a down year too. There's probably not, there's probably several different factors that play a role in that. It could just be the ebbs and tides. It could just be a bad spawn. It could be a lot of different things. But 7 years, you've got this, fish population does this. You can get to about year 3 or 4 and it does this, goes back down. Then you hit that 7 year and it's at a low and it comes back up, and then 3 and then 7 and then 3 and then 7. So, it does kind of have that high and low, that peak and valley. And then you throw a bad spawn into that and it can really affect it. So, keep in mind, it'll come back. Everybody gets worried about it, but promise you it'll come back. Matt always wondered why you seem to use only one jig on a pole. I see others using 2 or even 3 when jigging over a brush pile. Great question. Awesome question. Several reasons. One, okay, I want one point of contact. When I'm fishing for a fish, especially on Liv Scope, if I'm fishing for that fish right there, okay, what do I need 2 jigs for? I'm fishing for a fish right here. I only need to put 1 jig in front of that fish, right? We used to believe that color was everything and bait profile was everything. And, I've been standing beside some really great fishermen in front of this boat, and it don't matter if you're throwing a stump bug or a crappie magnet or a bobby garland, although the stump bugs can catch more fish without breaking than any of the other baits. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't make as big of a difference as putting that jig in the right spot in front of that fish. If you put that jig in the right spot in front of that fish, he's going to react if he's hungry. If he ain't hungry, you're not going to catch him. But if he's hungry, he's going to react, okay? So I don't necessarily need 2 jigs because I'm presenting that bait to a fish. Or if I'm fishing a brush pile, okay, that's reason 1. Reason 2, if I'm fishing a brush pile, I don't want 2 hooks that I'm trying to watch simultaneously and work through a brush pile, because this one may get hung on this limb up here, but this one was clear because it was down here underneath the limb, but this one got hung, so now my whole rig's hung, so now I'm trying to get that done. I don't need that. I need 1 point of contact. If I'm fishing a brush pile, fishing a dock, fishing a lay down, fishing a stick up, fishing whatever it is I'm fishing, okay, open water fish, whatever, I've got 1 point of contact, and that's the only point of contact that I have to worry about putting in front of that fish, okay? Now, if you don't have Liv Scope, still yet, why do you want 2 hooks that, if you're fishing brush, that's twice the chance that you have of getting hung, okay? So most of the time when you're fishing with a double jig rig, you're going to have contact, what I call contact. Now, let me explain what I mean by contact. Contact is what jig I'm feeling when I'm fishing. Okay, when I'm reeling that jig back in. Okay, I'm reeling that jig back to the boat. Which jig do I have the most feel on? The first jig, or the top jig, or the bottom jig? Right, the top jig is the one that I've got the most feel to because that's the first one in line that is closest to my hand. Okay, now that is what I mean by contact. When I have contact to that jig, I'm feeling what that jig feels. So if that jig gets bit, I'm feeling it. Now, are you going to feel that back jig when it gets bit? Sure. But a lot of times that back jig, you're going to feel more tension on the line than you are a strike. Because when that fish hits, there's a jig in front of it that you may or may not feel that fish bite through. Okay. But that first jig, I'm going to feel. So if I'm reeling that jig through a brush pile and I feel a limb on that first jig and I go to lift up over that limb, that second jig may fall. You know, you pull that, you got a limb right here. You pull that first jig up and over and it starts falling. What's that second jig going to do? It's going to get hung right on that limb. Okay. You can't really ever tell which jig you're feeling a limb with. So that's the reason that I don't use two. I use one jig. And I want to be able to work that one jig and feel that one jig. Okay. Does that make sense? And I did that before Liv Scope. I don't need Liv Scope to feel my jig. I don't need it. I can take that Liv Scope and chunk it in the lake. I can fish. That's how I fished before Liv Scope, is I fished brush. That's religiously all I did. Well, that's not true. That's a lie. I trolled. I shot docks. But where I caught most of my big fish prior to Liv Scope is out in open water on brush piles. That's where I tournament fished. I fished out open water on brush, picking those fish out of brush, catching those bigger fish, those isolated fish. So I can take that Liv Scope, chunk it. I still only fish with one jig because I want to be able to feel that jig and nothing else. Okay. And I don't want to get hung up twice as much. East Tennessee Crappie Club will be headed to Douglas soon. Yeah, we will. We'll be heading to Douglas in, what's March 2nd now because we moved that tournament too. So we're moving Tellico to February 10th, Douglas to March the 2nd. Yeah, that's right. All right, George Hamby. I will say I have been using the live sweep from Cornfield Crappie. It has worked good for me getting ready to move to the one to the trolling motor too. Yeah, I mean, look, the electric ones, they work. They're designed and work the way they're supposed to work. I just like to have that little bit of micro movement that I can make with my pole. Not even turning it, just literally those little micro movements that some of those units you have a hard time making. But they work beautifully. I mean, they're designed to work. They work the way they're supposed to. So, it's really personal preference. Like I said earlier, it's really personal preference on how you want to set your boat up. Jerry W., what is your favorite bonehead jig color in clear water? Oh, God. Probably. Probably moon dust or moon glow. I like moon glow or moon dust, probably the best. Those are my go-tos, I'd have to say, for clear water. Slick neon is a good one. Slick is a good one, but probably moon dust is my go-to for clear water. And I can show you. I can show you moon dust right here. Let's see. Let me not knock the coffee over in my boat. All righty. Right there is moon dust. That's moon dust right there. So it's got a clear with a lot of, it's actually just clear with a lot of silver flake in it. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. But it's got some, it's got like an iridescent flake in it, silver flake. It's got some different colors and stuff in it. And it's just mostly a clear. That's moon dust. That's my probably go-to in clear water. With a chartreuse head. Did you get your bag back? Yes, I did. I did. I got my bag back. Look, I went to my partner and I said, hey, did you realize that I grabbed your Cabela's bag out of the boat, not mine? And he goes, no. I said, so I could have kept it? And he goes, yeah, but I would have kept yours. And I go, yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. Now, give my bag back, sucker. So I did get my bag back. We talked about that on the last live we had. I had the wrong bag, and I was going through his bag, and I'm like, where'd all these baits come from? These ain't my baits. What happened? I felt like I was wearing another man's pants. If you've ever had to pick up somebody else's fishing rod or somebody else's tackle bag, it looked exactly like yours, and open it up and go, what the crap? It feels like you're wearing another man's underwear. I'm just saying. It's not, you don't feel right. It's like driving another man's boat. It don't feel right. It's just completely wrong. Alex, Matt, is there a reason why you use a 6.6 rod to live scope with over a longer pole, such as a 13-foot ACC rear seat jigging pole? Well, Alex, because we have clear water lakes here, and you can't get 13 feet from a fish. If you try to get 13 feet from a fish, you may as well go home and sit on the couch because it ain't going to happen. So you've got to cast to them. A lot of our fish, and they're getting worse. The more people fish with live scope, I've seen it. The more live scopes that are on the lake, the more people that are out there chasing fish, the worse it's getting. Honestly, I mean, you have to stop a lot of times 50 feet from a fish and cast to it to get it to bite without running off. You get within 50 feet and touch your trolling motor, and they're gone. So, again, 13-foot poles don't work here. You're welcome to try it, but you're going to come back and tell me, yep, you told me so. And some of the guys on here, Mr. Joel, Mr. Jimmy, some of these guys that are on here all the time that I have the pleasure of fishing with, they're going to tell you the same thing. You may as well forget a 13-foot rod around here because it ain't going to happen. Even in brush, they're getting to the point now where you pull up on a brush pile and get 13 foot away and drop a jig in them, they won't hit. They won't bite. They know better. And, if you think for 1 second that fish can't feel that live scope ping in their lateral line, you're nuts. They just don't associate it. Those fish you catch, they just don't associate it with the dangers. But a lot of these fish are associating live scope with danger, I think. They're feeling this and they're going, wait a minute. Carl got yanked up out of here the other day when we heard that or felt that. I don't know. I'm not real hungry right now. I think I'm going to let that thing float by. I've never seen anything like that out here, so I'm just going to let that float on by. Here I am thinking fish think like humans, but I'm telling you, I think that they feel that. I really do. So for that reason, a 13-footer just isn't going to work in our area. I wish they would. See, yes, I got my bag back. Thanks for asking, Max. Jerry, thanks. You're welcome. Ronnie Everett, thanks again. What's going on? Yes, sir. Absolutely. You're welcome, Mr. Ronnie. Good talking with you today. Matt, you need to take some of that orange braid and mark your bag so you don't grab the wrong bag again. That's a good idea. I get some orange tape, some flagging tape, and flag my bag. Start flagging my stuff. That'd be funny. Darren's gonna be like, "Why you got orange tape all over your orange flagging tape all over your dang stuff?" And I'm like, "So you don't take it again." Well, I didn't take it the first time. Yeah, you did, trying to steal my baits. I know how it is. I catch more fish. You try to steal my baits. I get it. You could just ask for them, though. You don't have to steal. You could just ask me politely for one of my baits, and I'll give it to you. I love you. I'll give you some baits. We can have the whole conversation. Here I go on a tangent. Let me get off my tangent. All right, let's see. If you ain't casting and letting the bait pendulum over top, they ain't going to bite here either. They've become too accustomed to it. Absolutely, 100%. The fish have just they pick up on what we're laying down. Let me tell you, and I think that's a lot of the reason on Douglas and all the lakes across East Tennessee, you're seeing a transition in how you have to catch crappie. You used to be able to go up shallow and catch a boatload of fish. You used to be able to troll in the winter and catch a bunch of fish. You used to be able to pull crankbaits in the summer and catch a bunch of fish. You used to be able to do a lot of these things that you can't do anymore. So, well. It's not you can't do them. You can do them if you want to. You want to go out there and troll, go be my guest. I went trolled, 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. A couple weeks ago, I went and trolled. I caught 5 3 good fish and 20 fish that were, so that's not what I consider a good trolling day. I mean, a good trolling day is, rods going down 3 or 4 at a time, and you can't keep them reeled in and casted out enough. I mean, that's a good trolling day, and it's just different. It's just different now. They've changed. That's just the world we live in East Tennessee. Let's see. You're the third person this week I've heard say not going to get within 30 feet of a brush pile. I've been lucky to get one fish off a pile before they shut down and leave. Now I know why. I've been too close. There you go. I can sit at 50 feet and cast to a brush pile like my life depended on it, and I can catch fish. But if I move in on those fish, negative. No, sir. Won't happen. All right. Looks like we got to the bottom of our comments here. We've been on for a little over an hour. As always, I appreciate you guys and everything you do. Please, please, please. Wait a minute. Did we talk about the ACC tournament? Am I waiting until the end to talk about the ACC tournament? I think I am. Golly. Did we talk about ACC tournament? Somebody tell me. Did we talk about the ACC tournament? Big fish event on Watts Bar Lake coming the last weekend of April. Okay? Last weekend of April. Big fish tournament, Watts Bar Lake, ACC crappie sticks. We'll have all kinds of information coming out. But if you want to fish the ACC crappie sticks tournament, okay, let me tell you a little bit about the format. Can you guys see right here behind me these two, this side, these two paint sticks right here? That paint stick right there and that paint stick right there. Those paint sticks right there are worth $2,500, okay? $2,500 is what those paint sticks are worth. Now, don't try to break into my house because you're not going to get $2,500 out of them paint sticks. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you how I won $2,500. Because those paint sticks right there, okay, are my boat numbers for the ACC crappie sticks Big Fish Bash or Big Crappie Bash on Watts Bar Lake that we've had. This is going to be our 4th year that we've had it. Now, I direct the event. The event's a great event. I do that in a company, ACC Crappie Sticks in Crappie Cove, in putting that event on. Every hour in that tournament, it's an 8-hour tournament. Every hour you're allowed to weigh one fish. It's a blind weigh. You weigh one big fish. You can weigh in all 8 hours. You can weigh in 1 hour. It doesn't matter. But every hour you get to weigh one big fish. If your fish that hour is the biggest fish of the hour, you win $1,250. Okay. Now, that may change this year. That may go up. That's some info to come out at a later date. Okay. You guys are going to be excited about the big fish tournament this year. All right. There may be an increase in the pot, and there also may be an increase in the biggest fish of the day. So 8 hours, one fish you can weigh in. If you win, $1,250. If your fish is the biggest fish of the entire 8-hour tournament, you get an additional pot, which last year was $2,500. Okay? So if you win an hour, and then you have the biggest fish of the day, you are going to take home $3,750 in one fish. One fish. You need one bite. One. Okay? So you can go out there. You don't have to put a 7-fish bag together. You don't have to go running all over the lake. You can take your minnow bucket. You can take your slip float. You can go sit on your one brush pile. And if you catch a big enough fish off your one brush pile that day to come back and weigh that sucker in, you could win $3,750 or just $1,250. All right. It's a great event. It's out of Terrace View Marina. Again, it's the last Saturday of April. I believe it's the 27th of April. Please, please, please mark it on your calendars. We are trying to get 100 boats this year. Last year we had 82 or 83, 87, something like that. We're trying to get 100. We want 100 boats this year. Great event. Really, really fun time. Look, Terrace View Marina feeds everybody the night before the tournament, okay? Come, meal, free of charge. That's included in your entry fee. Entry fees. We will release the entry fees later. Last year, I think it was 125 or 150 bucks, maybe 150. I don't really remember. I think it was 150 bucks last year. But You get the dinner the night before. You get the camaraderie of all the people in the tournament. You get to fish for 8 hours. You get to come back. They feed you again at the end of the day. Tournament day, there's always food there. Of course, it's at the marina, so they have drinks and everything else. If that's your scene, whatever. It's just a great time. It's just a great time. Andy with ACC will be there. Blake with Crappie Cove will be there. I'll be there. Several other YouTubers will be there. It's just a great time with great people and a lot of fun. So if you are interested, you can message me. You can message ACC. You can message any of the people that have fished that tournament before, and just get a lowdown on how the tournament works. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to weigh in all 8 hours. You don't have to come back to the scale at all if you don't want to. You only have to come back to the scale if you want to weigh a fish. And you stay out there, you fish. If you catch one you want to weigh, you bring it in, you weigh it in whatever hour it is. And if you win that hour, it's $1,250 in your pocket, okay, for one fish. So a lot of fun. Like I said, this is the 4th year. I have 2 paint sticks. 4 years, 3 years that we fished and 2 paint sticks. The first year, I finished second 3 out of the 8 hours. I was so mad. I'm like, ah! But the first year, they had a small purse for second. I think it's like $100, and I won $300, I think it was. So I did win a little bit of money the first year, but I didn't have my paint stick up there for that. But the second year and the third year, I did take home one hour apiece and got $1,250. I have not taken home that trophy yet. Guys, listen, I'm gunning for that trophy this year. So for all you guys out there that fish that ACC tournament, watch out, because I'm gunning for it. I want the trophy. I want the big one. Actually, it's more like this. It's a big trophy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a huge cup with a big crappie on top. Beautiful thing. You hold that joker up. And there's 2 of them, because normally crappie fishermen fish in pairs, but I typically fish that tournament solo. So I could get 2, one for the house and one for the office. You know what I'm saying? I get 2 of them jokers. We're going to gun for it. So come on out. Make it hard on me. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be easy. I want it to be hard. I want you guys to come out and kick my butt. So if you're going to fish that event, it's a lot of fun. It really is. A lot of guys out there cutting up, having fun. And a lot of guys on the water days before, just hanging out. Typically, we eat at the marinas. You catch us anywhere at Terrace View or Blue Bank or Blue Springs, or you guys. We may be at any marina eating during the day. So a lot of fun, a lot of cool camaraderie going on at that event, and it's just fun to be a part of. So if you guys are interested in that, please keep up with my page, keep up with ACC's page. We're going to release a lot more information on that. You will contact Crappie Cove in Maryville, Tennessee. You will contact Misty at Crappie Cove to fill out your registration for that, get registered for that event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So as always, I appreciate you guys for what you do. I appreciate you for being here. We'll see you here next week, same time, same place. And as always, God bless, stay safe on the water, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, guys. See you.